The Picanto nameplate has been around for quite some time, 21 years to be exact. And boy, I sure do remember when I was 21. Fun times indeed. So the Picanto is a popular sight on South African roads, and for good reason. If you're a student or someone looking for a great runabout, or in my eyes at least, people who desire them the most, yoga and Pilates teachers. If you're a yoga or Pilates teacher, please holler in the comments below. But anyways, this is the updated version. This is the 1.0LX entry level. This is the review. Let's get on with it.
Search AutoTrader.
Let's chat design quickly. Now, cosmetically with the new Picanto, you see more of the changes in the front and rear fascia. You can see the redesigned Tiger nose grille, which is pretty signature of Kia, and it also forms more part of Kia's opposites unite design philosophy, which looks at the duality between humanity and modernity, or nature and modernity, whichever way you may look at it. Now, in my eyes at least, it errs more on the side of modernity because it's a cyberpunky looking front end, even the rear too, with the new light signatures and that. These projector switchblade looking lamps are pretty much the case with that. Going along the side, you can see it's still more or less the same as the previous generations, easily recognizable as a Picanto at this point, with the contoured wheel arch body lines, the high shoulder line as well. Does it look good? I quite like it. I think people will be a bit divided on the styling because it looks more futuristic and robotic, but it's forward looking, that much I'll say. What kind of wheels do we get? We get 14 inches, hubcaps, at least in this trim. Yeah. Jumping in the cabin of the new Picanto, not much has really changed from the previous generation. You still maintain that horizontal shaped theme as evidenced by these vents over here and even these longitudinal ones on the side. But what's new here, on the LX at least, you get an 8-inch infotainment touchscreen. And it's a nice blend of analog and digital with your rotary dials to adjust your volume and whatnot, and also your buttons to access various features of the system. It is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto functional, and on top of this, you also get a digital instrument cluster. As far as digital clusters go, it's more on the basic end over here, and I'm afraid that I much prefer the one in the previous Picanto for this analog affair. A lot more could have gone on over here as opposed to just the lighting graphics over here and the numbers going up and down. I want to see bar graphs and things if you'll seems a bit more exciting. But anyways, you get a very lovely steering wheel, which is leather clad and multifunctional with the new Kia logo embossed over here. You also get a leather clad gear knob. Ooh, check that out, very nice. It's like I can do Kung Fu with this. This is cool. Apart from that, the seating over here is cloth upholstery. It's a mixture of fine and coarser materials. The coarser material in the seat backs over here help keep you in place when you're throwing around your Picanto. It's pretty grippy, I must say, and feels good to the touch. And as far as space goes as a whole, there's ample space here for what is essentially a super mini car. Headroom, legroom, shoulder room, and even the shoulder line over here, at least with my seating position, is pretty nice. And because of the glass expanse and the short overhangs, it's so easy to see out of this vehicle. Just parking it in town and just seeing where you're going, there's no questioning with this. It's just such a lovely drive, I should say. Speaking of drive, let's transition into that. Let's segue. Driving the Kia Picanto 1.0LX. What is this powered by exactly? A 1-liter 3-cylinder petrol non-turbo engine. It's got a nice burble to it. It's not rough at all. It actually feels really refined as far as entry-level 3 cylinders go. And it strikes that nice medium between the Suzuki motors and then some of the other 3 cylinders in the market, in that it doesn't mind being revved. Like, it's not the revviest 3-cylinder motor, but it does the job pretty nicely. This particular engine makes 49 kilowatts and 95 Newton meters. Now, it's not going to set the world on fire, but because it's a 950 kilogram odd shell, it really doesn't struggle going up hills, getting up to speed, and everything in between. How much fuel does it consume exactly? Well, this particular one consumes a claimed fuel consumption of 5 liters per 100 Ks. The actual fuel consumption during our test period, I'm going to put up on screen, so you can pause and check that out if you so wish. And speaking about NVH for this car, it's really well insulated in here, and even just the suspension tuning as well. Look, it's geared more towards comfort because you're pretty much going to be using this in the city, but then even just dealing with the road undulations and all of that, this car is pleasant, and I haven't even gotten onto the handling yet. I love the handling for this car. The way that it's wide stance and just short overhangs just make this a pleasure just to chuck about. And the quickness of the steering as well. The steering rack is lovely for this vehicle. It's power assisted steering. It is pretty light for city use and that, but dude, you can just throw this around and have a ball with it. The 14-inch wheels, no complaints at all. It's just right, just for this car. The only thing that irks me a little bit is the fact that the clutch travel is so short. It's pretty easy to stall this car. And I mean, even changing gears and that, I mean, they try to make it as easy as possible with the clutch in, clutch out. But in the same breath also, I think the clutch travel could be extended slightly. Apart from that, this car is a pleasure to drive. I really quite like the way it drives. It's leather-clad wheels, good in the hands, you can just throw it about. Man, good package, I reckon. Good package.
You'll find the following standard safety items in this entry-level Kia Picanto. You can pause and read up on screen. The Kia Picanto in 1.0LX manual trim starts at 260,995 rands. As far as price competitors go, we have the likes of the Hyundai Grand i10, Suzuki Swift, and if you want to talk premium supermini, then the Fiat 500. While the Kia Picanto is a lovely car if you want a similar Korean rival, the Grand i10 comes in cheaper but does lack some of the charm that the Picanto offers in our view. However, it is quite hard to ignore that at this price point you are looking at the top of the range non-sport Suzuki Swift GLX, which makes a very compelling argument against the Kia Picanto.
I really quite like this Kia Picanto. It's a looker, it's got well-considered design, and most of all, it is a hoot to drive. You can tell that there's a lot of experience around this vehicle. But the thing is, when you sit there and think that the top-of-the-range normal Suzuki Swift, the 1.2 GLX, comes in for a little bit less but also offers a bit more, it makes you think that the Picanto is gonna have to start making more compelling arguments for it now. Look, they're great cars, make no doubt about it. It's really going to be down to your preference and what you choose to drive at the end of the day. I'm just really happy that cars like this exist in this quality and still are fun to drive, which is, I think, the best thing ever. But anyways, that's it for the review. If you enjoyed watching this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another AutoTrader SA review. That's it from me, and don't forget, if you're looking to buy or sell a car, we are the best marketplace that South Africa has to offer. AutoTrader SA. See you around. Cool.
Search AutoTrader.